Attention passionate Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news now, guys. If you thought the Seahawks season was just going to be a regular ride, think again. Because the latest whispers from inside the league are pointing to something seismic, something that could truly redefine the NFC West and perhaps the entire NFC landscape. We're talking about the Seahawks making a bold, strategic move to reinforce their secondary, specifically by acquiring Denzel Ward from Cleveland. And trust me, this isn't just a splash move. This could be a game changer for Seattle's championship aspirations. So let's break down what this means, how it happened, and what the Seahawks are betting on with this bold trade. First, let's talk about the player at the center of this move, Denzel Ward. Drafted in 2018 out of Ohio State, Ward has quickly established himself as one of the premier cornerbacks in the NFL, especially when it comes to man coverage. For those of you who follow advanced stats, you know that Ward has been a top 20 PFF-graded cornerback consistently over the past few seasons, and in 2025, he's been nothing short of elite. With 20 solo tackles, ranking around 25th among CBs, and an impressive 3 interceptions, placing him 6th nationally, Ward's impact is clear. Not only that, but he's also been a lockdown in coverage with a rating of 71.5, which puts him in the top 8 among cornerbacks. His EPA per target is 13, meaning he effectively limits the damage on passes thrown his way, and his PFF grade of 88. One further cements his status as a top-tier player. Now, think about the Seahawks, a team that's been looking for more consistency and shutdown capability in their secondary, especially after some unfortunate injuries. Devin Witherspoon, their promising rookie, has been limited by knee issues, and Julian Love is also unlikely to be 100% for Week 7. Rick Woolen, another key piece, is currently sidelined with a concussion, making the secondary a bit vulnerable. So adding someone like Ward isn't just an upgrade, it's a statement. It's about bringing in a player who can immediately elevate the entire pass defense, especially with the Seahawks aiming to be a top 3 pass defense in the league. And that's not just fluff. With Ward's career stats, 310 tackles, 17 interceptions, 58 pass deflections, he's a proven ball hawk. He's also adept at handling double teams with a double team rate of 28%, and he's allowed just 42% of contested catches, which is remarkable. When you look at his game against the Giants in Week 3, where he snagged an interception and made 5 tackles, it's clear he's a difference maker. His ability to cover, to read the quarterback, and to make plays on the ball is exactly what Seattle needs to tighten up a secondary that has shown flashes but lacked consistency. Now, considering the Browns, they're in a bit of a tricky spot. With a 2-4 record and their season already looking like a rebuild in the making, especially with Deshaun Watson's ongoing struggles, Cleveland is tanking for draft capital. Their PFF grade of 70. 3 for Watson, with over 100 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions, shows that the quarterback isn't quite at his best, adding to their urgency to rebuild. The Browns need cap space and draft picks to support their future, especially to develop young players and build a more solid roster. So they're willing to part with Ward, a player who can help Seattle now, in exchange for a first-round pick in 2026 and Rick Woolen, a promising young corner who has shown flashes of brilliance but is still developing. This move not only gives the Seahawks a boost in their secondary, but also signals a shift in their approach to the season. At 4-2, they're not just looking to compete, they're looking to dominate, especially in a division that's been fiercely competitive. With this trade, Seattle positions itself as a serious contender, especially considering the current injury situation and the need to bolster coverage against the league's best passing attacks. Let's take a moment to analyze what Ward brings to the table for the Seahawks. His projected impact is huge. Experts believe that adding Ward could result in roughly 10 more interceptions over the course of the season, which would be a massive boost to the Seahawks' turnover margin. It could also cut passing yards allowed from around 190 yards per game down to about 150 yards, a significant improvement. His presence alone is expected to increase coverage efficiency by around 22%, making it much harder for opposing quarterbacks to find open receivers. Picture this: Ward versus Devant Adams, Tyreek Hill, or even a player like Kupp in big moments. His ability to shadow top receivers and shut down deep threats is exactly what Seattle needs. Plus, when you compare Ward to someone like Devin Witherspoon, the difference in their coverage metrics is notable. Ward's ability to limit separation and deflect passes increases the Seahawks' chances of forcing turnovers and creating more offensive opportunities for Geno Smith. Speaking of Smith, the connection there is promising. With Ward in the fold, Smith's efficiency could see a notable boost, especially in the red zone, where the Seahawks have seen their scoring percentage jump from 60% to around 75% in recent weeks. And let's not forget the big picture here. The Seahawks' odds to win the Super Bowl are already improving. Before this move, they were considered long shots, around plus 4,000, but now, with Ward's addition, those odds have dropped dramatically to plus 1,500. That's a serious shift and puts Seattle in a much more favorable position heading into the postseason. The NFC field is crowded, with teams like the 49ers and Eagles vying for supremacy. But with Ward locking down the secondary, the Seahawks could become one of the league's most formidable defenses. In the playoffs, Ward's presence could be the difference in tight games, especially against top-tier quarterbacks and offenses. His ability to shadow deep threats, combined with the Seahawks' improving pass rush led by Mafe with his 6 sacks in 2025, creates a formidable defensive front. This combo could elevate Seattle's defense from being good to elite, making them a real threat in January and beyond. The potential for a deep playoff run is looking much brighter with Ward's addition, especially when considering the improvements in their overall defensive EPA and the expected reduction in big plays allowed. Looking ahead, the impact of this trade extends beyond just this season. Seattle is clearly positioning itself for a sustained period of success. They're making moves that hint at a long-term vision, building a defense that can compete for championships year after year. The addition of Ward isn't just about getting better for 2024. It's about creating a core that can contend for titles for seasons to come. It's about solidifying a defense that can match the offensive firepower led by Geno Smith, who continues to impress with over 400 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, and just 3 interceptions this season. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, we have a team that's not just aiming to make the playoffs, but to dominate them. The Seahawks are making bold moves, and this trade is a testament to their ambition. By acquiring Ward, they're not just filling a gap. They're sending a message to the entire league that Seattle is all in, that they're serious contenders, and that they're willing to do whatever it takes to bring another Super Bowl trophy to the Pacific Northwest. The road to that championship might just go through a revamped Seahawks defense capable of shutting down even the most potent offenses. So in conclusion, this move is a clear signal that the Seahawks are elevating their game. Ward brings elite coverage skills, a proven track record, and a mindset that can push Seattle's defense from good to great. The Browns, meanwhile, are stacking up draft capital in a rebuild that seems to be more about the future than the present. It's a bold, strategic gamble that, if successful, could establish the Seahawks as one of the premier teams in the league for years to come. Keep an eye on this story because it's not just about one player or one game. It's about a franchise making a statement. The NFC West just got a lot more interesting, and the Seahawks are right at the center of this football revolution. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this bold move? Do you think Denzel Ward will be the X factor that pushes Seattle over the top? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seahawks. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seattle Seahawks news. This team is on the rise, and whether you're a diehard supporter or just a football fan, you can't ignore what's happening in Seattle right now. The Seahawks are making moves, building a championship-caliber defense, and with players like Ward, they're proving that they're not just here to participate. They're here to compete for that Lombardi trophy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.